Here is your quick 5x growth tip for today. This is about big-hearted entrepreneurs growing a business that allows you to do more, contribute more, and create more freedom for yourself and your family. So today is all about websites. So recently, a lot of people have been asking questions about how they can get a better website, find someone good to build your website, have someone do it who doesn't make you want to pull your hair out, or you feel like the website you got needed to be upgraded. And so a website is super important, and sometimes it can be really, really difficult to find someone who you trust to do that. Website is the new storefront. There are more people checking out your website than there are showing up at your front door. So it is definitely important where so many leads, so many new clients are coming from online space, right? So a couple of things to remember so you don't go down the rabbit hole of you want to build a new website, you spend hours and hours and days looking for the perfect site, and then you can't find one, and then you want to design one, and you're thinking about what colors, this, pop up, that, and by the end of it, you've got a month, you don't have a website, or you're frustrated because the person can't do it right. So here's some really simple steps for helping you build the website that's going to help you convert even more. So the first thing is, you want to be super clear about your outcome. So 3 specific steps. The first one is being clear about the outcome and the model, okay? Now the second one is having a process to identify the right person to help you, and then the third is how you manage them. And we did a free webinar on this, so if you want more detail, just check out the webinar. We've got the Zoom link, or we got the link to the webinar in the comments. So check out the webinar. All right, so the first thing is what you want to model. So if you're going to build a website, there's probably someone out there in the world that has done something similar before. And why recreate the wheel if somebody else has done it? Unless website innovation is the thing that your business is selling, do not waste time trying to create something from scratch when you can take pieces of things that are out there. So what I really recommend people is they decide what they want the website to do. Maybe it's a new landing page, a new home page. Find a few examples that you think are really, really good, and then commit to one of them. So one of them is going to be the base. Now sometimes people are like, oh, I feel like I'm not being creative, or what if they get mad that I copy them? Okay, so we did this, right? So I often will copy sites, and I will often model sites where I actually know the owner of the site or of the business, because I also know a bit more about the business and how it runs. Because I'm not just looking at the site, I'm also looking at how you run your business, how you serve your clients. And so I copied one site, and then I showed the owner, and I said, hey, I copied your site, and he was like, ugh, I don't think it's that good. And then I start to show him, and he actually says, I think it looks better than ours, which was funny. And he said, I would have even guessed, because it's not a one-to-one. It's not like you just take a picture and you do the same thing. I changed the color to match our colors. It's more like I was inspired by what they had. And so then it becomes a compliment. I really liked what they had. I thought it was great. I was inspired. And so I used that as my model. And then we changed the color. We obviously changed the text. Made changes to make it really appropriate for Ibero Consulting. And so it ends up being, hey, you inspired me. How awesome is that? And he was really funny when he said, I actually think I like how yours, yours is actually better than ours. I thought that was pretty funny. And then he couldn't have even guessed that it was modeled after his. So if you're afraid that it's going to look too much like a one-to-one, or the person, don't get that out of your head. Business owners model all the time. Walmart modeled things from, Amazon modeled things from Walmart. People are always modeling when you're doing business successfully. The second thing is finding the right person. So a lot of times when people are looking to hire someone to do a website, it's just like, oh, I called this person, I talked to this person, and it becomes a whole mess of a process. So, you've got people in your local city, your local town. There's Upwork. There's 8 billion people in the world, and so many people on Upwork, and so many people on Fiverr. And so it's really about narrowing for the person who's going to fit you. And what I would say is, if you're not loving the fit with the person who's building your website, just find somebody else, right? There's so many people out there that have this talent that you should really have a strong fit with that person. And maybe they do this one page or this one flow or this one site for you, but then you find somebody else longer term. And when you think about finding help, there are a couple of things you want to think about. First is designing the page. Second is actually developing it. And those are often two very different skills. And then the third is if you need any graphics created. If you can avoid creating graphics, keep it simple, save yourself a lot of headache. Now, developers usually are not good designers. It's never impossible, but so a lot of times we'll end up using two different people. So even if it's one company, it's two different people in the company, or sometimes it's two completely different vendors because they're two different skills. It's a very different skill to code than it is to make things pretty. So very different skill set. And then we make developing easy by using ClickFunnels, right? Because you can make it super hard, but you can make development super easy by using a page builder. ClickFunnels is a phenomenal one. And then the third thing is the way we give feedback. We don't just get on a call and say, hey, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this, and then the person's like, I got so much information, So we have a really specific process, and what you want to do is when you're giving feedback to someone, to a website developer, a designer, graphics, write it down. And the best ways we found is really simple. Put it in a Google Sheet. So each piece of feedback is a different line. Then make it super easy for them to just go down the list, read it, and check it off. So this has been a quick tip with the 3 things you need to know to have a kick-ass website that converts. So again, if you want more detail, check out the free webinar. If you want more hands-on help, give us a call. And if this has helped you in just one tiny little bit, please invite your friend to the group, share with someone so we can help them too, because this is about helping big-hearted entrepreneurs grow their business, help more people, and create freedom for themselves and their families. Okay? Love ya.